Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Maureen Taylor, the photo detective. Thank you for joining me. Uh, by the way, you can ask questions in the whatever platform you're watching this on, if it's Facebook Live or LinkedIn or YouTube. I get to see all of the comments. So if you have a question, let me know. Just post it and I will answer it. Today's a big day here in photo detective land because I am announcing that the Family Photo Detective is back in print. It's very exciting. So this has been out of print for a while. I've had a number of people contact me over the last several years saying, where can I get your book? Do you have any copies? Can you send them to me? We have a book club we want to use this for. Well, it hasn't been available, but now it is. As of today, you can buy the Family Photo Detective, the brand new edition. This is edition number 4 on my website, maureentaylor.com. It's right there on the home screen. You can get it as a print book, which this is, obviously. It's print on demand. Or you can get an ebook. Either. Both are available. But why do you need this book? What would be the point behind having this book? So you have a photograph and you want to know more about it. Here's one. Just sitting on my desk because I am surrounded by photos all the time. And you want to know more about it. My book will help you figure out when it was taken, the questions you need to be asking about it, the importance to your family history. All of this is covered in 174 pages. There are case studies. I'm going to put this in front. There are case studies in every chapter. Photographs that I have worked on and dug into. Let me do a little bit of reading from the introduction, just so you know what this is about. A family photograph collection is more than a random assortment of images. Each picture is a time capsule that documents a moment from the lives of our ancestors, and that is true. That photograph, be it a snapshot or a studio shot, actually captures something in your family. That moment in time is frozen by the camera. The collection may contain formal portraits, snapshots of vacations, relatives gathered for special events, and don't forget, you might even have friends and pets in the photos. These photos show you what was important to your ancestors. Each image is full of information, but a collection of photographs arranged and identified can tell the story of a lifetime or the history of a family. And that's absolutely true. And then also, these images are a documentation of our ancestors' lives. They provide clues for further genealogical research or furnish material not found in any standard genealogical resource. That means that you might not have a wedding certificate, a marriage certificate for this couple, but guess what? You've got a photograph with proof that they got married and when they got married based on the style of the gown, based on when the photographer was in business. It's even got a little name on the back, so I'm working on this one. All kinds of information can be in a photograph. Here's a fun one. I don't know if you can see it, but it is a group of guys over a studio, in a studio, leaning over a birch created fence, some birch wood. And they are dressed in uniform. And it says the YMCA camp, 1908. Well, how does that fit into your family history? Each chapter of my book covers a different topic. You have a chapter on types of photos. Is it a daguerreotype, an ambrotype, a tintype? Is it a snapshot? What do the different types of images tell you? What do the different types of cases mean? Can you date them by the case? Yeah, there are charts. Case studies from all my years writing for Family Tree Magazine as the photo detective. Some of the columns I've written for my blog, some case studies I've written for other people. I have updated this book. had a lot of old URLs, and it had some old, evergreen for the most part. But the bibliographies needed to be updated. So I tweaked those a little bit and added new pictures, because there are new books coming out all the time, and there are websites going out of, being a website, and new websites coming available all the time. So that's in there. So the major differences are the updates. The case studies are the same for this book, and I branded it so it's now mine. This is no longer published by another publishing company. This is published by my imprint, Picture Perfect Press, and you can get it as an ebook too. What else did I want to say? Let's see. Anybody have any questions for me? Gladys, I think I've answered your question about what's different in this new edition from the old one. In this week's podcast, if you listen to podcasts, I talk about the story of this book and how it came to be, but I'll give you the overview right now, which is this book and the topics covered are my keystones of my business. The who, what, where, when, and why of a photo. All of that is covered in here. How to research photographers, websites you can use, new technology you might need to help you identify your family photographs. And there are worksheets in the back. So you can use these to fill in, to prompt you for missing information. What I know is that if you have an unidentified image in your collection, it might be identified in a cousin's. That happens all the time, because your family may have said, I know who this is and I'm never going to forget. Your cousin's family said, oh, we want to make sure we put the name on the back. There you have it. So it's definitely worth reaching out to cousins on your photo mysteries. The other issue is, Deborah is asking where to buy it. It's easy. You can buy it on my website, maureentaylor.com. It is right there on the homepage, and there's a link to both the ebook and the print book. Now, the print book is on sale this weekend for $19.99. It is print on demand, so it's going to take you a little bit of time to get it, because it really is hot off the press. You can see this is my proof copy, but it is available, and it will come, and it is available for $19.99 this weekend only. The sale ends Sunday night at midnight. Now, does anybody have any photo-related questions for me? I'm waiting for them. I'm ready. Common questions. Which wife is it? Which husband is it? Was that photograph taken here in the United States, or was it taken overseas? My ancestors immigrated in such and such a year. What about the clothing? Are they actually wearing their own clothing? Are they wearing clothing? They were workers, laborers, but they have a nice dress on. What does that mean? How fashion forward or fashion backward were your ancestors? How does facial recognition work? What about the role of the props in the background? Or here's a thorny issue. Maybe your image is a copy, because mom and dad had their photograph taken in the 1860s, and they had 6 kids. And each one of those 6 kids wanted a copy of that photograph. How can you pick that out? What does it mean? Janice wants to know what to do with all of those cyanotypes. Janice, have you listened to my interview on the Photo Detective podcast with Sabina Acker? She collects cyanotypes, and we dug deep into what it means if you have a cyanotype in your collection and who might have taken it. What do you do with them? You store them just the way you store other photographs in a polyester sleeve. They're wonderful. Denise, I have several albums from relatives. I know which branch they came from, but not who they are. Would the book help me to identify the people in the photo? Yes, there's a whole chapter in here, Denise, on albums. And if you need further assistance with figuring out who's in those albums, I offer a special photo consultation session just for photo albums, and it's specially priced. So if you hire me for a photo investigation, it's 3 photos for $99 or 1 photo for $40, but a whole photo album, we can sit down and talk about it for $299. So it's a special deal. That's on my website as well. But the book this weekend until Sunday night is $19.99. Any other questions for me? This is just a quick Facebook Live to say, yeehaw, this is now available. This was first published way back in, actually not this version, but the first edition way back in, I think, 2001. And it was black and white, and it had a horrible title called Uncovering Your Ancestry Through Family Photographs. Whenever I did a radio interview or a TV interview, I'd have to go on, and the interview person would say, oh, that's quite the title. It was shortened in the last edition, and I'm glad it is, because it really does. The title represents what we do here, which is Family Photo Detective. Learn how to find the genealogy clues in your old photos. Brandon, thank you so much for that endorsement of my photo album consultation. I love working with your photo albums because each and every photo album tells a story, not only of who put it together, but who has tampered with it and how that family photo album has come down through the family. I did have a client, and the photo album came down through 3 sisters. And those 3 sisters all tampered with the album, and it was clear. We could see where the tampering occurred. So you never know. And albums are a mix of family and friends and people they admired. I love working on photo albums, but there's a whole chapter in the Family Photo Detective. And I advise anyone working on a photo mystery to start with my book and then contact me if you need more information. I'm available for photo investigations. All right, we'll let this go for another few minutes. If anybody has any questions, I would love to hear them. I'm available through my website, MaureenTaylor.com. I have a little help thing that sticks up. Oh, Janice, you should have a recording of what we said. All the recordings, all the photo investigations are recorded. I will look to see if I still have it. Why don't you email me so I can email it back to you if I still have it. I did delete a bunch of them a number of years ago just for space on my computer, but I did notify people beforehand. But all consultations are investigations are recorded. And I do only video ones now so that I can share the screen. Women's fashions, men's fashions, children's fashions. That's how it's broken down. Definitely. You can't talk about them all at once. I have a nice big example of a photo album I worked on that I bought and I worked on and found out a whole lot of stuff about it and the people who put it together. I have morning photos, wedding photos, how to research the photographer, hand-colored photos. What do those mean? What's the history of hand coloring? And lots of charts as well. So give it a try this weekend, MaureenTaylor.com. Hopefully you're on my newsletter list because that's where you find the best deals on all of my products. I will be offering different packages for this later on. But for right now, the Family Photo Detective in print is $19.99 until Sunday night at midnight. And the ebook is $16.99. And the link is on MaureenTaylor.com. They're both there. Thank you so much, all of you. And thank you for all your comments. I look forward to seeing each and every one of your photos. As you know, I love looking at pictures. There's nothing better because I believe that each one tells a story. And I just love getting to the bottom of it. So thank you so much.